Next up, we have Shaman cards. For 0 mana, you get a Zap. Deal 2 damage to a minion. Zap. Overloads for 1. So it's not anywhere near backstab level because backstab is free. It's actually free. This is more like a Holy Smite or Arcane Shot, if you may. But you do get to pay 0 in that turn, which is kind of nice. I just don't think that this is going to be that good. It's kind of reasonable, whatever. You know, Overload is the thing. So, yeah, I think this is fine. I'm just going to give this 2 stars. I think this is just fine. Witch's Apprentice is a 1-mana 0/1 with taunt, so it's a frog. Battlecry, add a random shaman spell to your hand. Much, much worse than Babbling Book and Swashbuckler, or what's that called? The pirate card that is a 1/1, right? And the Oracle. Shit, I'm really bad with card names today. The Priest Oracle that is a 1/1 that draws a card as well. 0/1 is definitely not as good. Like 0/1 just doesn't do anything, dude. Okay, sure you're getting a shaman spell, but 0/1 makes this not good. I really don't like. I'm really off this card. I'm gonna give this 1 star. Cold Light Angler is a 2-mana 2/2 Echo Murloc. So you can play this multiple times. Obviously, you want to play this in a Unite the Murlocs deck, so the Shaman quest, because it can activate quite well. But I really don't see this outside of that. It's just a very boring Echo card. Doesn't even have any keywords. 2-mana 2/2s are actually kind of bad, right? 2-mana 2/2, 4 mana for 2 2/2s is really bad. 6 mana for 3 2/2s is also really bad. So I feel like this Echo card I'm not really a big fan of. I'm gonna give this 1 star. And you could actually see this in Murloc Shaman. Blazing Invocation is a discover a Battlecry minion for 1 mana as a Shaman spell. I actually don't think this is good, right? Like there's so many shitty Battlecry minions that you just don't know what you're doing. You know, there's so many Battlecry minions in the game. There's a lot of 2-drops that have Battlecry, basically do nothing. You know, like Applesauce. Or Ooze, or, you know, just the list of Battlecries is too much. Okay, that's a problem with this. So I kind of looked at this as like a Raven Idol, and Raven Idols have the potential of discovering a spell. So I don't like Blazing Invocation. Think the other ones are better because the list of Battlecry minions are just too big. Like you're gonna get too wide a variety of things. You guys like this card, huh? I just don't like this card. Nah, I'm off this card. I don't like it. I really think that there's so many bad Battlecries that you do not want to include this in your deck. Sure, you can play this with something else. You can play this with Hagatha or something. But no, I think this card standalone is bad. I'm going to say it's bad. 1 star. Next up, we have Earthen Might. For 2 mana, you give a minion +2/+2. Okay, that's pretty good, right? Mark of the Wild, Mark of Yashiraj, whatever. If it's an Elemental, you get to add a random Elemental to your hand. So it's a 2 mana +2/+2, draw a random Elemental. I think this is fine, right? You play this in Elemental decks, you draw a card. You draw exactly an Elemental, and Elementals combo with each other as well, right? So I think Earthen Might is fine. I can't see this being bad. So I'm going to give this 3 stars. It's good. It's fine. It's good. Next up, we have a even card. Merc Spark Eel is a 2 mana 2/3. And if you're playing a Gengraming deck, it deals 2 damage, which is actually really good. Like this is actually really overstated, right? Or over budgeted. It's a Fire Plume Phoenix for 2. The Gengraming deck means that you're playing 1 mana totems. So your play pattern is going to be turn 1 totem, turn 2 you're going to play some of these and whatnot. Interestingly enough, the even shamans get sap, and they also get hex. Hey. They nerfed Hex because of even Shaman. But no, you actually lose a lot of good odd cost Shaman cards, right? You lose like stuff like Lightning Bolt and Lightning Storm. You also lose a lot of Overload cards at 3, like, you know, Feral Spirits and whatnot. You also lose Unstable Evolution and Evolve, but you still get Devolve. I feel like that because this card is so pushed, that even Shaman might be a thing. Man, you do lose a lot of good Shaman cards. I think Merc Spark is a 4-star card, right? The card is insane. Just look at the card. But even Shaman might not be a thing. So even though this is a 4-star card, I don't think this can make it. Onwards to Totem Cruncher. For 4 mana, you get a 2/3 taunt, and then you destroy all your totems as a Battlecry. Gain +2/+2 for each destroyed. I'm off this card. Totem Draw 9 Totem Carver was a 4 mana 4/4 that gains +1/+1 for each totem you had, and it doesn't even destroy it, and this destroys it. This card is bad. I mean, it's adorable, but adorable cards are usually 0 stars, right? So this is 0. Yep, sorry Totem Cruncher. You're as bad as the Snow Flipper Penguin. Bog Shaper is a 7 mana 4/8 with it's an elemental, which is interesting. Whenever you cast a spell, draw a minion from your deck. So very expensive Garrison Auctioneer, but it's double the health. So it does have a lot of health, right? I think the main problem with this is that you're drawing minions. Are you gonna run out of minions? It's really good of Unstable Evolution because you get to keep on drawing your minions and whatnot. But this is a weird one. I think this is a weird one. I don't know about that. I think Bog Shaper is like a 1 star. I'm not a big fan of this. You have to combo this off of something for it to work. And I think the best combo off is either with Hagatha or Unstable Evolution. And I think that's actually pushing it, right? 7 mana 4/8. That's some low ass stats. Hagatha the Witch is an 8 mana Death Knight or hero card. I guess hero card is kind of how you want to put this. It has a Dustbreaker effect that deals 3 damage to all minions. It obviously gains you 5 armor because all hero cards do that. And it changes hero power to a passive hero power that says after you play a minion, add a random shaman spell to your hand. Back when all the hero cards were released, I actually rated all of them 5 stars because just there's a deck for every hero card. And obviously there's a deck for Hagatha the Witch as well, right? Stabilizes your board, gains you 5 armor, and you actually get to drown your opponents with like more spells, and obviously the spells work really well with echo cards because echo cards are minions, so you can play more echo cards, get more spells in your hand. This is actually ridiculous, right? Well, obviously the worst rogue legendary is Valera the Hollow, and people have still been finding decks with Valera the Hollow, right? So this is a very easy 5-star card, and yeah, this is just gonna be good. Hagatha the Witch deck is gonna be great. Sherlock is a 9 mana 6/6 legendary minion with Battlecry. Repeat all other Battlecries from cards you play this game. This card is obviously ridiculous, right? I mean, there's so many good Battlecries in the game. There's like Hagatha that you see that we just saw. There's like Thrall Deathseer that is a Battlecry, right? Very, very good. There's some other Battlecries that you can probably find, like Primordial Drake, right? Sparky is probably a good Battlecry you want to copy. And Serenade Chain Gang is a very good Battlecry as well, because Serenade Chain Gang has a very weird text, right? It says summon a copy of itself. So when you play Serenade Chain Gang and you get the Battlecry off this, you actually summon an extra copy of Shutterwalk, which is insane. And then Bone Mare is still in the meta, and Bone Mare gives +4/+4 and taunt to a friendly minion. There's just gonna be so many Battlecries that this is just gonna be the new Yogg-Saron. Like, this is just ridiculous. Very good win condition. 5 stars. Alright, 2 more classes to go. Okay, we're doing good. Alright, onwards to Warlock. We have Witchwood Imp as the first card. It is a 1 mana 1/1 demon of stealth, and it has Death Rattle. Give a friendly minion +2 health. Yikes, I don't like this card. Like, why would you play a 1 mana 1/1? Well, 1 mana 1/1 needs to really push the envelope, right? It needs to either draw your card or really just grow bigger, like Small Time Buccaneer or something, right? This doesn't do really anything. I mean, it's stealth, which is good, so your opponent can't deal with it, and then you buff your next card or whatever. But god damn, I hate this card. This card doesn't do anything. You know what? If anything, this actually nerfs the class, because Bane of Doom makes it so that it's a little bit bad. And we're gonna see another card that discovers a demon later, and this actually makes it bad. So I think this card is actually -1 stars, because Warlock would actually be a better class if this card did not exist. Next up, we have Dustbats. For 3 mana, you get a 2/4 beast, and if your hero took damage this turn, you summon 2 1/1 bats. This is actually kind of interesting, because Zoo might actually come back with this, right? Like, dealing damage to your own hero is easy, well, because of life tap, right? So at worst, this is a 5 mana 2/4 summon 2 1/1s, which obviously is not really what you want, but sometimes you actually do that. The best case situation is you can play something like Flame Imp, right? And then you play Dustbat. Boom! 3 mana 2 for summon 2/1/1s. You can also play Cobalt Librarian. Boom! It works. You can also play the new card that we're going to show later that discovers a demon, and boom, it also works. So I think the activation of this is actually pretty damn easy. It really depends on if Zulok is going to come back, since, you know, Power Overwhelming is banned in Standard now. We really have to see. But Dustbat is a very, very nice card. I think this has a lot of potential. So I'm going to give this 3 stars. Next up, we have Fiendish Circle. For 4 mana, you summon 4 1/1 Imps, and this is the goddamn boring card. It's exactly like the Murloc card, but you summon demons instead. So what that freaking do, right? I mean, Crystal Weaver is rotating out, so you can't even actually do that combo. Like, what the hell are you doing with 4 1/1s anyways? I just don't. I'm really off this card. This card is just... yikes. I think this is 0. This is just dust. Next up, Dark Possession is it's the new card that I was talking about earlier. It's a 1 mana card that deals 2 damage to a friendly character and it discovers a demon. Now, I actually think that deal 2 damage to one of your own guys or your own phase is actually an upside for this, right? So once again, the upside is you can trigger your Dustbats that we just saw. You can also trigger your other damage cards such as like your Amethyst Spellstone, which is nice. This also has an extra effect. This can trigger your Possessed Lackey. So you can deal 2 damage to it. If your opponent has no board, you can actually trigger yourself. And yeah, this just has a lot of potential. I think Dark Possession is great. I'm going to give this 4 stars. And yeah, demons just generally are going to be good. The subset of demons, like the list, there's just so many good ones. Doomguard, Infernal, 7 mana Infernal, Voidlord, Dreadlord, right? Like, the demons are ridiculous. So I think this is really good. Next up, we have Curse of Weakness. For 2 mana, you get an Echo card in Warlock. Give all enemy minions -2 attack until your next turn. Very different from a Pint-Sized Potion because it actually lasts until your next turn, which is something that we don't really see in Warlock cards. I mean, in like cards like do this effect, right? I still think this is bad. I don't think this actually does anything. I mean, it's kind of like a Frost Nova that you need to pay more mana if your opponent has big cards. Sure, you can say, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and trade stuff off, you know, and then get value that way. No, you don't want to do that. If you're playing Warlock, you're either playing aggro, Zoo, right? So why would you want to play something that says 2 mana 0/0? And if you're playing Control, you have Twisting Nether, you have Defile, you have Shadow Flame, you have Hellfire, you have the new Godfrey, you have Doom, you have so many board wipes. You don't need this, okay? So this card is trash, 0 stars. Next up, we got Blood Beats. For 4 mana, you get a 3/6. Okay, 4 mana 3/6 is good. What is it? Oh. At the start of your turn, you deal 1 damage to your hero. How boring is this effect, man? Oh. This card is actually just garbage. I mean, I get what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to go like, oh, you're gonna play cards that deal damage to yourself, right? And so you get the synergy. But this is a 4 mana 3/6, okay? Like, no, I don't want to do that. No. This card is bad, okay? This card is bad. 4 mana 3/6s need to actually have a very decent upside that can also be a standalone. So we're looking at what? Priest of the Feast. We're looking at Water Elemental, and Blood Witch is just bad because it's also 4 mana. 4 mana is a very competitive mana cost for Warlocks, right? I'm very, very off this card. I hate this. This card is actually a 0 for me. I think this is terrible. Next up, Ratcatcher is a 3 mana 2/2 rush minion that when it battlecries, you destroy one of your own minions and gain its attack and health. This has a little bit more constructed possibilities because it activates your Death Rattles, right? It can actually use it on your possessed lackeys, and you can actually kill something off of it, which is good. You can also use it on like a Void Lord. I don't think that would actually be too bad. And you need to kill something big, but I feel like that this being an activator and like removing a card seems like it's gonna be okay. I just don't see this card being bad because it has a decent upside. Although here's the thing, right? Like, is Void Terror just better, right? Void Terror has extra point of stat, right, in each attack and health, but this does have Rush, and I feel like Rush is good. I don't know. Playing more redundancy in Q block so that you can kill more of your minions, makes it so that it's good. I think Ratcatcher is fine. Like, you know, I think Dark Pact is better, but Ratcatcher is just kind of like there for your third thing. So I think Ratcatcher has a little bit of it's okay. It has potential. I'm gonna give this 3 stars. Next up, Death Web Spider. For 5 mana, you get a 4/6 and it has Battlecry. If your hero took damage this turn, this gains lifesteal. So 5 mana 4/6 lifesteal is really good. It does go to show that like what the heck was Hearthstone thinking when they made Blood Queen Lanethel, right? Blood Queen Lanethel is like so bad. As I was saying, Death Web Spider does make Blood Queen Lanethel really, really bad. Although Look, lifesteal is really good in Warlock, okay? Like, you tap a lot, you have a lot of cards that smoke your own face a lot, you have, like, Void Wipes that also attack your own face. But, man, I'm also off this card because this needs to survive, okay? And you also need to take damage this turn, so you're not taking this as a 5-drop, you're playing this as a 6 or 7-drop, right? I don't really like this card. I think this is just a 1-star card. I'm not big on this. Alright, finally we have the legendaries for Warlocks. We have Glinda Crowskin. 6 mana 3/7 with minions in your hand have Echo. Oh my god, this card can be just so busted, right? Like 6 mana 3/7 means that it's really hard to kill. And all your minions have Echo. So what? You can play stuff like unlimited Void Callers, unlimited Void Walkers, unlimited, you know, librarians and stuff like that. You can also go even a little bit deeper and play cards that cost 0. So we're not talking about the Wisp, okay? We're talking about stuff like Arcane Giant, Sea Giant, Happy Ghoul, Corridor. Nope, that doesn't work. Arcane Tyrant, right? Like any cards that have a potential to cost 0 makes it so that, you know, this can actually be good. And finally, there's also one more combo that we can see is we can play this with Gnome Feratu, and we can actually do a super mill deck. This one is a little bit more cheesy, but I mean, milling your opponent for 5 cards that's really good to beat combo decks, right? Like we know from Hearthstone that milling your opponent is actually a viable way to beat combo decks, right? So this is actually reasonable. And since Cold Light Oracle is no longer in standard because it got banned, then this might be like the secret tech for us to beat the OTK decks, like the OTK Druid deck, the OTK Mage deck, the OTK Priest deck, or something like that, you know? So I wouldn't count this card out. And since this card is just so much in one card, right? It can do that, it can do this, it can do that. It's just very versatile. I think this is actually a 5-star card. I think this is, like, you have to have a very good reason not to put this card in your deck. And not only that, you can also play a deck around this card too. So I think this is 5. Finally, we have Lord Godfrey. We have a 7 mana 4/4 with Battlecry. Deal 2 damage to all other minions, and if any die, you repeat this Battlecry. So, what does that mean? That means this is a Super Defile on a 7 mana 4/4. That's pretty thick. Like, that's really good, right? Sure, sometimes, like, I mean, obviously, if this was in any other class, that would be bonkers, right? It's in Warlock, but Warlock has a lot of AoE already. But Lord Godfrey is still really good, right? It kills the board, wipes them out, it's pretty much going to be pretty simple to set up a Lord Godfrey, right? Like if you're a smart Hearthstone player, because Defile is kind of similar to that way. Defile just wipes the board if you're smart. So Lord Godfrey is going to wipe the board as well. It's just going to happen. Now, how good is Lord Godfrey compared to something like Twisting Nether or something like that, right? I think they're different for sure. Twisting Nether is really good. Lord Godfrey is also really good because Lord Godfrey can actually kill Death Rattle minions, whereas Twisting Nether can never do that. For example, if you're Twisting Nether something like a Cairn, the Bane comes back, whereas with Lord Godfrey, you can actually kill the Bane if the board is if the board is like correct, right? So I think it's different, and I think why not just play all of them, right? If you're gonna be playing Warlock, just play all of the AoEs. So I think Lord Godfrey is just really ridiculous. So I'm gonna give this 5 stars. Very, very good card. All right, finally, we have Warrior. Alright, let's see what Warrior is. Warrior has a weapon. It's a new 2-mana weapon. After Fire Warlock got nerfed, we have a Woodcutter's Axe. 2-mana 2/2. Give a death... 2-mana 2/2. Death Rattle. Give +2/+1 to a random friendly rush minion. So 2-mana 2/2 weapons are already fine. But the fact that this actually gives you a free +2/+1 is... I think it's actually above and beyond. This card is really good, right? It reminds me of something like Cloudhammer, where it's a weapon that actually gives an extra effect for your minions. And I think Rush Warrior is going to be a thing. I mean, there are so many new Rush minions. There's a new Legendary Rush minion and whatnot. And there's a lot of Rush potential that I think Woodcutter's Axe is going to be good. I'm going to give this 4 stars. I think this is going to be very, very sick. Next up, we have Warpath. 2 mana for a Whirlwind, but it does have Echo, so you can Whirlwind as many times as you want during that turn. I think this card is also ridiculous. It is AoE for Warriors, and Warriors are not supposed to have AoE. Imagine if you're playing something like a Control Warrior, and then you just play this when your opponent plays a lot of stuff on the board. Right? It's 1 card to basically do whatever you want. This is also a nice activator for Frothing Berserker and stuff like that. So, dude, Warpath is just amazing, man. I just don't see how this is not a 5-star card. Just give me a clappy. It's like, this is ridiculous. Warpath. Wipe the board. You're playing Warrior. You're gonna find a use for this. Very nice. Next up, Rapid Worgen is a 3-mana 3/3 Rush. This is kind of boring, honestly. Like a 3-mana 3/3 with Rush is... honestly kind of boring. If you want to play more Rush minions, then there you go. But there's already like a few better Rush minions than this. So I'm not really a big fan of this. I think this is just like a 1-star card. Maybe Warriors just really need to play that many Rushes, but I really don't think so. Speaking of not really that good Rush minions, we have Red Band Wasp. 2 mana 1/3 with Rush and Enrage +3 attack. This one is honestly like, what the heck is this doing, man? Like, I get it, okay? You can play Red Band Wasp after you attack twice with Woodcutter's Axe, so you can actually make this a 3/4, and then you can enrage this as a 6 attack. But, man, like, this by itself is just doesn't kill anything. Like, no, right? I don't like the Red Band Wasp. I think this is even worse than the Rapid Worgen. I'm gonna give this 0. Next up, we have Militia Commander. 4 mana... 5/5 Rush on the turn you play it, and then it shrinks herself to a 2-attack minion. I think this is good. I think this is actually really, really solid. It's basically Firelands Portal, but you always get a bad minion. But imagine if Firelands Portal costed 4, right? It's a 4 mana 5/5 Firelands Portal, and then you get something back. There's a lot of support for Rush minions, right? And this is actually insane. Like Firelands Portal, dude. I think this is actually a 4-star card. I think this is really, really good. Like, this is really sick. I love Militia Commander. Alright, next up we have Fissure Hulk. For 5 mana, you get a 2/7, and after a friendly minion attacks, gain +1 attack. Of course, it's interesting to note that you can play this and attack with your minion, so it gains a lot of attack. And it's also very important to know that this also triggers off itself. So it actually gains a lot of armor, attack by itself, right? I think this is a bit expensive for what it's trying to do. It's like a Frothing Berserker, but it's an expensive oh my freaking, what the heck is this? It's an expensive Frothing Berserker, so yeah, I don't think this will make it. This is a good win condition, but I don't think this is gonna make it. So I'm gonna give this 1 star. I don't think it's gonna be that good. Next up we have Town Crier. For 1 mana you get a 1/2, and with Battlecry, draw a Rush minion from your deck. This is insane. Alright, 1 mana 1/2 draw a card is really good. And you draw exactly a Rush minion, so you can help stuff up like Woodcutter's Axe. This is really, really good. So I think this is a 5-star card. I think this is actually bonkers. 1 mana 1/2 draw a card. Right? I don't see how this is not ridiculous. This is really good. I'm gonna give this 5 stars. This is like an all-star. Deadly Arsenal is a 6 mana spell for Warriors. Reveal a weapon from your deck and then deal its attack to all minions. So it's a 6 mana board wipe, right? I feel like this is not bad in Warrior because you can actually skew your deck for it to actually do really good. So say you only play 2 Arcanite Reapers and you play a Gorehowl. So it's always going to deal at least 5 AoE damage. And 6 mana deal 5 damage is pretty good for Control Warrior. So I feel like this has a lot of potential. Because, well, AoE and Warrior is always going to be good. So I'm going to give this 3 stars. I think this is fine. Alright, onwards to the Legendaries. Darius Crowley is the first Rush. It's the first legendary for Warriors. It's a 5 mana 4/4 with Rush, and after this attacks and kills a minion, it gains +2/+2. I think it's actually really good. I think this is actually really good. Because not only does it have the Rush strategy, so you can actually tutor it, you can actually buff it or whatever, this also grows really big as the game goes on. So I think Darius Crowley is actually good. I'm gonna give this 4 stars. I think this is a fine card. Damn, I really want to give this 5 stars, but I don't think I can. Yeah, I'm gonna give this 4 stars. I think it's pretty good. Alright, and finally, the last card of the expansion is Black Howl Gunspire. 7 mana 3/8 that can't attack. And it says, whenever this minion takes damage, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. So, I mean, you could do something cute with this because, you know, deal 3 damage to a random enemy means it can go face. So maybe there's an OTK Gunspire Warrior deck or something, but I just don't really think so. It's just like a glorified knife juggler, and the fact that it can't attack is actually a problem. I really don't see a Gunspire deck happening. The only way that this can happen is you can do something ridiculous with this, like play Gunspire. Your opponent doesn't really deal with it, which they can't really deal with it, right? And then you faceless it, and then you start to whirlwind with 2 of these on the board, right? Like you really need to like dive deep with Gunspire for it to actually do work. You can also play Woe Cleaver with this. If you have Woe Cleaver, you can actually recruit this. But oh, that's so cheesy. I don't know. I think this whole thing is just too cheesy. I just don't see this happening. Man, Ragnaros really got nerfed quite hard, right? Man, look at that. That's like Ragnaros, but like a shitty. So I don't know. I'm really off Black Howl Gunspire. I think there's a way more win conditions that you can have in your deck that is better than this piece of junk. And it's a legendary minion that's not even a creature. It's a freaking building. Okay? It's a freaking building. Oh! Okay, that's actually a good one. That's actually interesting. The fact that you can get this with Oakheart is actually not bad. Okay. Since you can fetch this with a lot of recruit effects, like Oakheart, there's a little hope for this. Okay, there's a little hope. A little hope. And of course, if you beat your opponent to this, you can actually BM them and just say that, oh, you actually got beat by a building. Alright, fine. Because you can recruit this and tutor this, I think this has a little potential. I'm okay with giving this 3 stars. Okay, I'll give this 3 stars. You have a little bit of hope. Alright, so that is all the cards. I think the decks that I'm most excited to play are Thief Rogue. Thief Rogue is just going to be so awesome. And yeah, I mean, Priest got some really sick cards as well, so that's cool. And yeah, odd and even decks, here we go, you know? So once again, thanks for watching the constructed compendium of Amaz. If you ever need to know what cards are good, what cards you want to craft and whatnot, just make sure you, you know, just come back and watch this video, you know? Look at which card you want to see, and find out if Amaz actually rated well. And of course, in the expansion day, which is April 12th, we're going to be playing Witchwood for an extended stream. So we're going to do a long stream, and it is also my birthday on April 12th. So we're going to do a birthday stream as well. So hope to see you guys there. We'll see you guys next time.